You don't need a college degree, you don't need to be good in math, you don't need to be good in school, you don't need a lot of money, you don't need anything to be successful in this company except, hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how to be successful in this company. Now, I know you guys have seen all my Publix videos, and if you have not, please go ahead and check those out. I have a whole playlist at this point. If you have any questions about the company, I probably already answered it for you, and if you haven't seen the answer to your question, then just go ahead and leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to make a whole video just for you, just to answer your question. Now, like I said, in today's video, I'm just gonna be telling you guys the simple, secret and tip in order to be successful in this company. It is not that complicated. A lot of you guys are like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go to school. I'm gonna need to get a bachelor's degree, a master's. Oh, I don't know how to do math. Oh, I can never be a manager, this, that, whatever. Today, I'm gonna be revealing the truth, okay? This is the stuff the managers don't want you to know. This is the stuff your parents don't want you to know, but this is the truth. Let's just go ahead and get right into it because I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I know you guys are probably like anxious and you guys are probably like, how do I do it, Patricia? I got you. I always got y'all. I answer all of your questions in here and I tell y'all the most honest and real and raw advice there is. And then I get the most beautiful and enlightening comments there is of people telling me how they got hired, how they're making money, how they're doing good in life, and it fills my heart. So that little secret in order to succeed in this company is 110% your attitude, your character, the way you carry yourself, your personality. That is what makes you successful in this company. So for those of you who don't know, Publix is a company that promotes within, which means you cannot get to the top without having gone through the bottom. Therefore, you cannot come into Publix and become a manager without having been, the meat cutter or the customer service staff or the cashier, whatever it is. Obviously, it depends where you're trying to go. If you're just trying to be a department manager, then you can go ahead and start in whichever department it is that you want to, become the manager of. And truthfully, a lot of times people switch. You can start off working in the produce department and end up working in the customer service department and being a customer service manager. So it really just depends. Honestly, just get in the company and then decide. But definitely you have to start from the bottom. You don't just decide that, oh, I want to go work in the bakery and you become a bakery team leader or manager or none of that. You definitely are going to start off as the person who bakes the bread and move your way up from there, which has its logic behind it, because I've always said, how can you appreciate the top if you haven't rode in the bottom? You just won't appreciate it as much. Same thing like when they say that you tend to value something more when you're the one who had to make it or buy it, and that's definitely true. So I get the logic behind it, and I think it's really good because it is a company with like great benefits. Great stocks, gives you good money. Managers make good money, especially like store managers. So you can do all that with you just working your way up. You don't have to go to college for that. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to do certain things where in other jobs, you definitely have to do those things in order to move up. Publix is not like that.
Oh, that was a human, bro.
You thought you were gonna get jumped? It was the dog. She was probably sleeping in my bed. Oh my gosh. Now, your character and your personality should always be on point. Now, I know there's days where we're just like, oh my gosh, we have everything going on wrong for us outside of work. And sometimes the sad truth is that sometimes it does carry with us at work, and we can feel the weight while we're at work. And even though we try to smile and play it off cool, people who genuinely know you know that you're not cool and you're not good. Now, for the most part though, you can't let things affect you, and you always got to carry yourself well, because managers are the ones that can recommend you to move up. So you want to make sure that you're on a good page with them. Now, I know, at least like in my store, a lot of times managers will do certain things, or not all the time, but I've seen certain case scenarios where, a girl or a boy will try to be friendlier with the manager just to, be on their good side and kind of like kiss their, in order to move up. Don't do that, because the truth comes out, and I've seen so many managers get fired because of that. So if that was the only person in your corner because you genuinely don't work well, you just happen to be on a good page with him because of whatever you're doing outside of work with that person or whatever, don't think you're gonna get caught, and don't think that when you do get caught, you're not gonna get fired or you're not gonna get in trouble, because I've seen it happen. Like everything I talk to you guys about, it's not like I just come on here and make it up or things that I think can happen. No, these are things that I know can happen because I've seen them happen. So make sure you're genuinely working well, because that is the only real reason they're gonna move you up. Now, every single task and position at Publix is attainable. Nothing about it is excruciating. I personally love my job, and I definitely think it's something that anybody else could learn. I mean, they show you and they teach you and they have patience with you. So I think it's like a really good company, because I've worked in other places where they definitely don't have any patience and you just feel like a whole bother. So it kind of like sucks in those other places, but definitely our company is not like that. And I know you guys hear me talk all the time, like our company and this and that, and it's great and this and that. And I do mention some of the things that can go wrong in other videos if you want to check it out. And I definitely do want to say that Publix does not sponsor me or pay me to do any of these videos. So the fact that I'm just telling you this is simply because I want to see you succeed, you do well, because this is knowledge that I feel like everyone should know. And sometimes managers do not have the time to tell all their associates all the things that they're entitled to or how to handle certain situations. So that's why I decided to do that for y'all. But this is not like Publix telling me to do this for y'all. This is not me telling you guys what Publix wants you guys to know, or for me to just like cover them. Like, this is just genuinely like what it is. Like, everything on my channel is what it is. None of it is like, oh, this is what so-and-so told me to say. No, this is all just the bottom, like, plain truth. So I definitely think all the positions at Publix are attainable for just about anybody. We start hiring at 14 and you can move your way up from there. Most of the positions, yes, you do have to be 18, like for those bigger positions. I mean, at 14 you can only be a bagger, and 16 you can only be a cashier. So at 18 is kind of like when you start looking at moving up and stuff. But you definitely are going to be at an advantage if you've been able to say that, oh, I've been working in the company for a few years now, because I started when I was 16 or 14 or whatever age it is that you genuinely started at in the company. So considering that it's attainable for just about anybody, it's not excruciating work, you don't need a degree, you don't need money to come into the company. Matter of fact, the company is the one that gives you money if you want to go finish school, if you want to, you know, invest in stocks, if you want to do these other things. I just think it's like a really good way to move up. So like I said, make sure you work well and have a good attitude and character with your customers, with your managers, so that your managers can recommend you to move up. You generally need to work well. Don't do none of that shady stuff with no manager. Essentially, Publix wants you to be good with the customers. Like, their biggest priority are their customers. So make sure, most importantly, like, I'm not saying for you to have beef with, you know, the managers, but most importantly, be good with the way you work with your customers and then your managers, because at the end of the day, a fact is a fact. The fact remains that you work well and that the customers love you. If you're not buddy-buddy with the manager, that's okay, because you're not there to please the manager. You're there to please the customers. So always remember, as long as you work well with the customers, you'll be at an advantage if you do end up getting into like a discussion with a manager, okay? Once you've been working in the same position for a while and you want to move up, you have to go into your Oasis, which is your like Publix account, and you have to ROI, request of interest, the position that you want to apply for. So usually every department you work, you know, the basic position, which, you know, for example, customer service would be the customer service staff. If you work in produce, you're a produce clerk, stuff like that. And then some departments have like a team leader, which is just like a little higher than the normal position you're at. And then comes the department assistant manager, and then comes the department manager, and then comes the store assistant manager and the store manager. But focus on like the departments, you know, like focus on baby steps and move your way up. Don't focus on like this huge picture, because then you might find it harder to reach that picture. So when you feel like you're ready for the next position, I would definitely say to take it up with your manager. So if you're like a produce clerk, mention it to your produce manager and produce assistant manager. Go ahead and go on your account and also ROI for the position, because at the end of the day, the DM, the district manager, is the one who makes that decision. So even though you might have like one hateful manager who's like, I don't think you would be a very good team leader, at the end of the day, it's up to the DM. And yes, it helps to be on a good page with your department manager, because they're the ones that can like help you and like recommend you. It also mega helps to be on a good page with your store manager, because they can help you and recommend you. But at the end of the day, it's the DM's decision. But it all goes hand in hand, because it's like, it's the DM's decision, but the DM, the district manager, is not always there with you. The people who are always there with you are your store managers and department managers. So it's kind of like, the DM is gonna ask the store manager is gonna ask the department manager. So just try to, like I said in all my videos, keep it cool with everybody, but don't get tight to nobody, because that's how drama and stuff creates. And in your workplace, that's the worst thing you want to have, is drama and chaos and stuff like that. So don't put yourself in the position to create that, because when you start telling people your personal life, you're putting yourself in the position to create drama and chaos and all that. So make sure you stay out of that. Just, you know, go to your job, get your job done, get your money, and go, because that's really what you're there for anyway. So once you ROI, you know, in your computer, in the system, in the public system, you just have to wait. Usually there's 2 periods in the year where they make changes and they promote people. There's 2 like promotional periods, and I believe one of them is in summer and the other one is like in the mid-year. And you really just have to wait till then. Yes, they can promote you before then, but usually they make those changes twice a year, because they don't want like all this chaos going on store to store, because customers be freaking out too. You know, customers are like, where did so and so go? And like, they don't like that. So usually they just change you twice a year. Well, they don't change you twice a year, but the promotional period happens twice a year. And you usually, when you're a manager, you stay in a store for like 1 to 2 years, sometimes more, sometimes less. It really depends. If you're not a manager, if you're just like trying to get promoted to like a cashier or to like a customer service staff, you're gonna stay in your same store. You don't have to be moving stores. That's only for managers. If you are trying to get promoted to customer service staff, which means you were a cashier prior to you now wanting to go to customer service, you have to ROI for that position in your Publix Oasis account as well. And to work customer service, you have to be 18. They do make exceptions sometimes when you're 17. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They did it with me, but go ahead and figure out what your managers are trying to do with you. I believe they can only train you when you're 17. They can't fully put you in customer service, but they can, you know, start trying to help you out. So it's really up to your manager. If not, just wait till you're 18. It's no biggie. And from customer service, you can move up to customer service team leader, and then assistant manager, department manager. I know that at least the produce department at my store does not have a team lead, and neither does the bakery department. But like I said, it really just depends on the store, on your city, on your state. It truly just, you know, I can't just sit here and put all the rules that my store implies, because it's not the same ones that your store implies, because we probably don't work in the same store. Now, with that being said, I think I'm gonna conclude the video, because I basically said what needed to be said. Your personality, your character, the way you work has to be spot on, and then everything else is good to go, okay? You can't be faking it, because people are gonna notice. Managers will demote you, you know, you will get demoted, and you will have to start all the way in the bottom all over again. You will get in trouble, and that's if you're trying to do some shady stuff. I do recommend for people to go to school. I do recommend for people to get their degrees. I'm personally trying to get my degree, but you technically don't need a degree to work in this company and be a manager, and you don't need a degree to be a store assistant manager or a store manager. You don't. So it's kind of cool how you're looking at a 6-figure income without having to go to college, because a store manager is making $100-something grand a year. So that's kind of cool. A store assistant manager is making a little bit less than that, but you're making good, plus access to all the benefits, stocks, and bonuses. You're chilling. You're chilling, especially for not having any type of college degree, because I'm telling y'all, y'all could just leave high school, get into Publix, and move your way up and end up making 6 figures. Matter of fact, you could probably make more than that, because there's been store managers that retire millionaires because they invest in stocks. So it's really just up to you on what your plan is, but it doesn't always work like that. So I don't want to be like, yeah, don't go to school and just come become a store manager and you're going to be a millionaire. Like, it's not going to be like that either. I do recommend that you have a backup plan, and go to school and then just do Publix on the side or something like that. And with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and conclude today's video. I hope it was helpful, and if you have any questions, like always, go ahead and leave it down in the comment section below. Give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.